Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikhil and this is the part 3 of Ikigai series. See, I have added somewhere my own explanations so that it will be easier for you guys to understand. And somewhere I have read exactly as written in the book. And sometimes you can sometimes you can see or feel that I am reading and not explaining while explaining you guys, because actually I am reading. That's why, nothing else. I've made a script here. I'm just gonna read it. So I've also wrote all the explanations of how I'm gonna explain you guys. So okay then, let's start. Okay, the lesson name is Anti-Aging Secrets, which says little things that add up to a long and happy life. So so the topic is aging's escape velocity. Let's see what does it means. For more than a century, we have managed to add an average of zero point 0.3 years to our life expectancy every year. Zero point 0.3 years mean approx 3 to 4 months. But what would happen if the technology will add a year of life expectancy every year? In theory, we would achieve biological immortality, having reached aging's escape velocity. Okay, escape velocity, what does it mean? Escape velocity means a distance and a direction needed to escape from something. It can be anything. So, a distance and direction needed to escape from dying. Simple. So, let's take an example as shown in the book. Just imagine there is a sign for far off in the future with a number written on it. That number represents the age of when you will die. So it basically says there is a certain sign in the age, a particular age. It can be anything like 82 or 70. It means that at a certain age you are supposed to die by any health condition or anything. So, and when you reach that sign, you die. This was one example. The another example is that now imagine a rabbit holding a sign, that sign when you were gonna die, but he's walking towards the future. Now imagine you are also walking towards the future, but if you just suppose in 12 months you cover some distance in 12 months, and that same distance rabbit covers in 6 months, so eventually you will reach the rabbit in future and die. So even though your life got extended, but what if uh, but okay, this was one example. The speed at which the rabbit walks to the future is our technology. Yes, it is our technology. Means it can be anything. It can be a food. It can be exercise. It can be a mindset. How the knowledge of how our bodies adapt, how our bodies work. The Let's continue. The more we advance our technology and knowledge, see, it is written here. The more we advance our technology and knowledge of our bodies, the faster we can make the rabbit walk. Yes, we can make the rabbit walk faster. See, the aging's escape velocity is the moment at which walks at a pace of year per year or faster, and we can reach or we can become immortal. Yes, so researchers with an eye to the future, such as Ray Kurzweil and Aubrey de Grey, claim that we will reach the escape velocity in a matter of decades, while some scientists are less optimistic, not pessimistic, but less optimistic, which they predict that we will reach a limit, a maximum age where we won't be able to surpass no matter how much technology we have. For example, some biologists asserts that our cells stop regenerating after 120 years. And in my opinion, we will see about that. Okay? Okay, let's continue. The next headline says active mind and youthful body. There is much wisdom in classic saying mans sana in corpore sano. What does it mean? It means that a sound mind in a sound body. This frame tells us that both body and mind are important, and at that health is one of the and health is one connected, and that the one is health connected. Okay, what I mean to say is the health of one is connected to that of the other. It means they are so well connected to each other, like how mind influences body and how body influences mind. It has also been shown that maintaining an active, adaptable mind is one of the key factors in staying young. See, having a youthful mind also drives you towards a healthy lifestyle that will slow down your aging process. Well, just as lack of physical exercise has a negative effect on your body and on your mood, but also lack of mental exercise is also very bad for us because it causes our neurons and neural connections to deteriorate. Well, this, okay, I'm gonna go a little deep. So this can go this can go bouncer for a lot of you guys. So well, these neurons, what are these neurons? Neurons and neural connections are the message senders from the sensory organs to the mind and from mind to the body. And these veins, now I am adding mine here. See, focus also decreases due to lack of mental exercise, and as a result it reduces our ability to react to our surroundings. See, guys, I'm adding more of my own points. See, I think mind is the most important element. If mind is healthy, and so than the body, what you feed your mind, it poops into thinking pattern. It poops into the same thinking pattern you put it earlier. So your current mental condition is the result of because your past, your past actions. So you have to be very careful what you feed your mind. Control your mind, even if it is hard, but you can try. You have no option actually. You just have to keep trying. See, there are many meditations that can help you gain mastery over the mind. Okay, you can find there are many actually. So, okay, now this was all my addition. This is not written in the book. Let's continue. Okay, let's continue with the book. So it says this is why it is so important to give your brain a workout. See, one pioneer in advocating for a mental exercise is the Israeli neurologist Shlomo Brzezinets. Okay, pioneer means to develop or be the first to use or apply something. Basically means he's the first to use a certain task, to do a certain task. And this neurologist Shlomo Brzezinets, he argues that brain needs a lot of stimulation in order to stay in shape. Stimulation meaning for the sentence uh, for the sentence is meaning is a continuous flow, or like an enthusiasm or excitement, or like the book said, always being active by the mind. Okay, let's continue. There is an interview of Shlomo Brzezinets with Edward Punset for the Spanish television program called Redis. Redis, I think it is like that. Redis. In an interview, he states that there is a tension between what is good for someone and what they want to do. This is because people, especially older people, like to do things as they have always done them. The problem is that when the brain develops ingrained habits, it doesn't need to think anymore. Things get done quickly and efficiently on automatic pilot, and often in a very advantageous way. What happens is this creates a tendency to stick to routines, and only way of breaking these is to confront the brain with new information. Okay, I think there is no need for me to explain this. Or if you want to know, what does breaking this confront the brain with new information, what does it means? Is that the brain needs new connection and it is revitalized. This is why it is so important to expose yourself to change. Even if you're stepping outside of your comfort zone means feeling a bit of anxiety, because because new paths activates the new parts of the brain. Okay, let's continue. The effects of mental training have been significantly shown and proven well, according to the Collins Hemingway and Shlomo Brzezinets in their book named Maximum Brain Power, challenging the brain for health and wisdom. See, mental training is beneficial on many levels. You begin exercising in his book, in that book, I think so. You begin exercising your brain by doing a certain task for the first time. He also writes that at first it seems very difficult, but as you learn how to do it, the training is already working. Now, what happens is when you try to do the same training second time, this time it is easier and not harder like before. This is because you are getting better at it, and this has a fantastic effect on person's mood. This is a transformation that affects not only the results obtained but also his or her self-image. This description of a mental exercise might sound a bit formal, but simply interacting with others like playing a game, what happens is this offers new stimuli and helps prevents the depression that can come with solitude. Okay, solitude means like lonely or alone. Okay, let's continue. See, our neurons start at age while we are still in our 20s. Sorry. This process is slowed down by intellectual. activities, curiosity, and desire to learn. Dealing with new situations, learning something new every day, playing games, and interacting with other people seem to be essential anti aging strategies for the mind. And furthermore, a positive outlook in this regard will yield greater mental benefits. So you should know that playing with your children, playing with your pets, interacting with friends, having friends, and desire, the passion, the curiosity, the excitement, they are necessary, and it helps us in an aging process. It means it slow down our aging process. Okay. Well, the next headline says stress accused of killing longevity. Now we are gonna talk about the stress and how does it works, and also I'm gonna go a little deep in this. So if it is going a little bouncer, just don't hear it. It's on you. See, many people look older than their actual age. A research was done on the causes of premature aging, and it has shown that stress has a lot to do with it because the body wears down much faster during the period of crisis. The American Institute, sorry, the American Institute of Stress investigated this degenerative process and concluded that most health related problems are caused by stress. Well, Heidelberg University Hospital researchers there connected and conducted an study, or I would say an experiment, by calling a doctor for an interview, job interview. So they made him more stressful by forcing him to solve complex maths problems for like 30 minutes. Afterwards, they took a sample from him. They discovered that his antibodies have reacted to stress the same way they had reacted to pathogens, activating the proteins that trigger an immune response. The problem is that this response not only neutralizes harmful agents, it also damages healthy cells, leading them to age prematurely. Well, this is a response for fighting against any pathogens in the body, but at the same time, it damages cells, causing them age prematurely. Well, the University of California did a same study by taking a data samples from 39 women who had high levels of stress due to illness of one of their children. Samples were also taken from healthy women with low levels of stress. What was observed that cells promote cellular aging by weakening cell structures known as telomeres. See, telomeres play an important role making sure our DNA gets copied properly. When cells divide, due to the stress we take, it affects cellular regeneration and how our cells age. As the study revealed that the greater the stress, the greater the degenerative effect on cells. Now let's see how does the stress works. Nowadays, people live at a frantic pace, which means living with fear, anxiety, or other emotions. Like me, I have also live in anxiety and fear, all these things, and also in a constant state of competition. At this fever pitch means meaning a state of extreme excitement, where stress is a natural response to the information being received by the body as potentially dangerous or problematic. Okay, if we say theoretically, this is a useful reaction as it helps us survive in the hostile surroundings. Hostile means generally a situation or anything you don't like during our evolution from the start to now. We have used this response of stress to deal with difficult situations or to flee from predators. When our brain detects that there is something potentially dangerous or problematic, what happens is our brain uses neurons to activate the pituitary gland. You know what neurons means, of course. In simple words, they help reach the message to the brain, connected with sensory outputs and external world. Pituitary gland. Okay, what does pituitary gland do? Is pituitary gland is a pea-sized body attached to the brain, which is responsible for controlling growth and functions of endocrine glands. Produces hormone that releases corticotropin. What is corticotropin? Corticotropin is a hormone which circulates throughout the body by sympathetic nervous system. Then this adrenal gland is triggered by corticotropin hormone. This gland releases adrenaline and cortisol. This adrenaline is a stress hormone which raises our respiratory rate and pulse rate and prepares our muscles for action, getting the body ready to react to perceived danger. And something the same thing also happens during this fight or flight situation or a situation of excitement. What happens is cortisol increases the release of dopamine and blood glucose, which is what gets us charged up and allows us to face challenges. This process happens in both the cases. Okay, I have to go this deep actually because some people don't think that stress actually affects Yes, some people don't. So let's continue. Um, Now let's see how does cave dwellers used to feel and how we modern humans feel and respond. Okay, there is a difference between here. See, cave dwellers were relaxed most of the time, but in our case, we work most of the time and are alert to any and all threats. Means a constant state of stress. Now, the cave dwellers felt stress only in specific situations, but today, modern humans are online or waiting for the notification from their cell phones 24 hours a day. Now, during the cave period, the threats were real, means a predator could end their lives at any moment, and on the other side, ourselves, our brain associates the ping of the cell phone or an email notification with the threat of a predator. The cave people had high doses of cortisol and adrenaline released in their body during the moments of danger only, which kept the body healthy. And on the other side, us, we have low doses of fluid in our body constantly throughout the body, with implications for a range of health problems, including adrenal fatigue and chronic fatigue syndromes. What happens is continuous flow of these hormones in our body becomes a problem. The fatigue I told earlier results body aches, nervousness, sleep disturbances, digestive problems, etc. See, the process these are in moderation are beneficial and they help us overcome challenges in our daily lives. Nonetheless, the stress which we human beings are going through today is clearly harmful. Stress has a degenerative effect over time. Degenerative effect means the ability of the cells to regenerate decreases. A continuous state of emergency affects the neurons. Neurons, what does neurons? These neurons are associated with memory. This process also releases certain hormones. This can cause depression. Its secondary effects are irritability, insomnia, anxiety, and high blood pressure. See, the challenges are good for keeping the mind and body active. What we should do is we should adjust our high stress lifestyles in order to avoid premature aging of our bodies. Now, let's see what the next headline says. Be mindful about reducing stress. See, whatever we face, a real threat or not, but it is an easily identifiable condition that not only causes anxiety, but it is also highly psychosomatic, affecting everything from our digestive system to our skin. See, psychosomatic meaning is a physical illness or the condition. It can be a mental factor such as conflict, internal conflict. It can be anything like fighting with your mind or anything like that, or it can be a stress or anxiety. Okay, due to all these reasons, prevention is very important to avoid weight this puts on us, and this is why many experts recommend practicing mindfulness. Okay, if we see it a logical theory, if we give it a logical theory to reduce the stress, it can be to focus on self, like noticing our responses, even if they are conditioned by our habit, like being self aware. See, just try to be self aware as much as you can. In this way, just try to be in present. Try to be in present. In this way, we connect with here and now and limit thoughts that tend to be out of our control. Now, there is a guy named Roberto Alcibar who abandoned his fast paced life to become a certified instructor of mindfulness because after an illness threw him into a period of acute stress. Well, he says that we have to learn to turn off the autopilot that's steering us in an endless loop. He means our unconscious mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. He gives us an example. He gives an example actually. Um, okay, so some people who snack while talking on phone, like you may have also done it, and I also do it, and many people snack while watching TV. We all do this thing. So but if we ask those peoples, the omelette they ate, just they ate had onion in it, if you ask these questions, similar questions to them, they won't be able to answer it because they don't know themselves. Well, this book says there are a lot of ways to reach a state of mindfulness, like by doing meditations. There are many types of meditations that can help you um, bring clarity. Means what does mean by clarity is that it can filter the information that reaches us from the outside world. It can also be achieved through breathing exercises, yoga, and body scans. Yeah, body scans is also a type of meditation. Achieving mindfulness involves a gradual process of training. It means you need little practice to learn to focus on our mind completely, which reduces stress and helps to live us longer. Okay. Now I wanted to add something from my own experience. I also struggle with a lot of anxiety and stress, a lot. But meditation has helped me a lot to cope up with my stress and anxiety. There are two types of meditation that I do. Okay, this is not written in the book. I'm telling my own experience. The first meditation I do is Anapana meditation, and the second is Vipassana meditation. Okay, this is not sponsored or anything or advertisement. I'm just sharing my own experience. If you want to learn Anapana meditation, maybe you can find it on YouTube. I think so. I think it is there, but I think you should ask someone who has done it before, because it will be easier for you guys to understand, for you guys to ask them and they can explain you clearly. But for doing Vipassana, this meditation, you have to go to the Vipassana centers to learn it. There are many Vipassana centers all over the world, and in our India, where I'm just talking about, there are most centers. What you have to do is just go on Google, search Vipassana and your state name, and you will find the centers that are present in your states. Now let's continue. The next line says, a little stress is good for you. Well, being alive on an intense stress is known an enemy of longevity for both mental and physical health, but low levels of stress have been shown beneficial. What are the low levels of stress? What does it mean? There is a psychology professor at University of California Riverside. His name is Dr. Howard S. Friedman. He has done test subjects and have observed them for more than 20 years. He has discovered that people who maintain low levels of stress, who face challenges, and put their heart and soul into their work in order to succeed, these people live longer than those people who choose more relaxed lifestyle and retired earlier. From this, the Dr. Howard said that a small dose of stress is a positive thing, as those who live with low levels of stress will develop healthier habits, will smoke less, and even drink less alcohol. It is a lot similar than suppressing that supersanitarians. Okay, what does supersanitarians means? Supersanitarians means people who live up to 110 or more than that, who we will meet in this book ahead. What similar is that they also talk about how intense their lives have been working well into their old age. The next headline says, a lot of sitting will age you. In the Western world, the rise in sedentary behavior. Sedentary means a person spending too much time seated or somewhat inactive. So, the Western world, this sedentary behavior has led to numerous diseases such as hypertension and obesity, which in turn affects the longevity as well. Spending too much time seated at work or at home not only it reduces muscular and respiratory fitness, but it also increases your appetite. It means your hunger for food increases. This also prevents you from participating in activities. Being sedentary can lead to hypertension, imbalanced eating, cardiovascular diseases, osteoporosis, and even certain types of cancers. Osteoporosis is a medical condition in which the bones become brittle and fragile from less of tissue, typically as a result of hormonal changes. Brittle means hard but liable to break easily, and fragile means the same. Okay, now the recent studies have shown that there is some connection between lack of physical activity and all the progressive distortion. Progressive distortion means to change something that is false or wrong. See, distortion of telomeres. Telomeres are situated at the end of the chromosomes, which helps chromosome from taking any damage. So what happens is this process makes those cells prematurely age, which in turn affects our whole organisms and our entire body system. This problem is not only for adults but for all life stages, like sedentary children as well. These sedentary children also suffer from high rates of obesity and all its associated health issues and risks, which is why it is so important to develop a healthy and active lifestyle at a very early age. It's easy to be less sedentary. It just takes a little effort, a few changes in your daily routine, which where we can access a more active lifestyle that makes us feel better inside and out. See, we have to just add few ingredients to our everyday habits. Some are as follows. Okay, the first is your working place. If your working place is near, walk to the work or just go on a walk for at least 20 minutes each day. Second, use your feet instead of elevator or escalator. This tip is good for your posture, your muscles, and your respiratory system. Third is you should participate in social and leisure activities so that you don't spend time too much in front of the television. Leisure activities mean such as exercise, socializing with family, friends, the activities that take time, that take in free time. Fourth, replace your junk food with fruits so that you will have less urge to snack while eating the food. It means to eat fruits before you eat food so that because of the fiber in fruits it takes a lot of place, so you will eat less. And which are the most and this tip is the most nutrient beneficial to your system. Fifth is to get right amount of sleep, like 7 to 9 hours, which is good because most people underestimate the sleeping, but it is very important. But more than 9 hours, it can make you lethargic. Lethargic means you can feel sleepy or lazy. Next, sixth one is that if you have children or pets, play with them or join a sports team. This not only strengthens the body but also stimulates the mind and boosts self confidence. Seventh and last is that you have to be aware and conscious of your daily routine in order to detect harmful habits and replace them with more positive ones. By making these small changes, we can begin to refresh our bodies and mind. Okay, now this is over. The next headline says a model's best kept secret. See, we both age externally and internally, means both physically and mentally as well. And on the another things that tells us most about people's skin is their people sorry what most tells us about the people's age is their skin, which takes on a different textures and colors according to the process going on beneath the surface of the skin and also in the mind. Most of the peoples who make their living as models claim to sleep between 9 to 10 hours the night before a fashion show. What happens is this gives their skin a taut, wrinkle free appearance and a healthy radiant glow. Taut, okay, healthy radiant glow. Taut means tight skin. Let's continue. Science has shown that sleep is key as an anti aging tool. It is because when we sleep, the melatonin, a hormone that occurs naturally in our bodies, this thing, a pineal gland in our bodies produces it. This pineal gland is what produces it in our body from the neurotransmitters serotonin. Serotonin work is to carry signals between nerve cells. It sends signals to the pineal gland whether it is day or night, and that's how it plays a major role in our sleep and waking cycles. This what is it? This melatonin, this melatonin, it is most produced at the night time and it is very less produced at the daytime. Melatonin is a powerful antioxidant which helps us live longer. Also offers the following benefits. First is that it strengthens the immune system. Second, it contains an element that okay just a second second is that it contains an element that protects against cancer. Third is that it promotes the natural production of insulin. What insulin does is help your body turn your blood sugar, which is glucose, into energy. It also helps your body store it in your muscles, fat cells, and liver to use later when your body needs it. Fourth is that it slows the onset of Alzheimer's disease in your body. Fifth, that fifth is that it helps prevent osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a condition in which bones become weak and brittle, and melatonin also fights that disease and heart diseases. That's for all these reasons melatonin is great. Melatonin is also a great ally in preserving youth, but it is also to be noted that melatonin production decreases after the age 30. To balance this, also we can do some things like first is eating a well balanced diet and getting more calcium. Second is soaking up a moderate amount of sun each day. Third is getting enough sleep, like it was mentioned before. Fourth, the last one is avoiding stress. Of course, not just stress, but also alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, and all that makes it harder to get a good night rest, depriving us of the melatonin we need. There are experts already trying to determine whether artificially simulating production of melatonin might help slow the aging process, which should confirm the theory that we already carry the secrets of longevity within us. Okay, now the next headline says anti-aging attitudes. Anti-aging attitudes. What does it mean? Let's see. It says how our mind has a tremendous power over our body and also how quickly it ages. See, most of the doctors agree that secret to keeping the body young and keeping the mind active, which is the key element of Ikigai. And also, we should not stop when we face difficulty. Okay, most of the doctors say that the secret of keeping the body young is keeping the mind active, which is a very key element of Ikigai. Okay, there was a study done at Yeshiva University. They found that people who live the longest have two dispositional traits in common. First is a positive mental attitude, and second is a high degree of emotional awareness. In other words, those who face challenges with a positive outlook and are able to manage their emotions are already well on their way towards the longevity. Keeping a stoic attitude. Okay, stoic attitude. What does stoic mean? Stoic means to be calm and almost without any emotions. Being stoic, you don't show what you are feeling and you also accept whatever is happening with you. In simple words, to become emotionless means to have no emotions. This can help you keep you young, and it also lowers your anxiety and stress levels and also stabilizes your behavior. I'm adding something from my own side. See, you will think that stoic being stoic can make you insensitive, which is not right. But listen, sometimes stoic helps to get through problems. You don't have to be stoic all the times, but at times you cannot work things out from the problem or high stress. See, you have to have some serenity, which means the state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled. You have to have serenity. See, actions taken in a reactive, unbalanced mind is a wrong decision in most of the cases because mind is not calm and stable. A balanced mind who thinks both positive and negative, both good and bad, sees both the effects and when, without any reaction, she responds. See, listen clearly what I said, the word response. A decision taken in a responsiveness rather than a reaction. But sometimes you don't have time to use this technique, but you can try and try to make a better decision next time. Okay, now let's continue. See, this type of stoic attitude of being unhurriedness, deliberate lifestyles are in certain cultures as well, which shows greater life expectancies. See, many sanitarians and super sanitarians, if you forgot what sanitarians means a person who is 100 years old or more than 100 years old, and super sanitarians means people who has reached the age above 110. So many sanitarians and super sanitarians, their profile shows that they also had a life full of difficulties, but they know how to approach those challenges with a positive attitude and not to be overwhelmed by the obstacles they faced. This there is an old man, Alexander Image, who in 2014 became the world's oldest living man at age 111. He knew he had good genes, but also understood that other factors contributed too. He was added to the Guinness World Record in 2014. He, in an interview with the Reuters, said, "The life you live is equally or more important for longevity." It means how you live your life contributes equally or more for your life. The next and the last headline says an ode to longevity. Let's continue. During the writer's stay in Ogimi, the village that holds the Guinness World Record for longevity, there are woman who was about to turn 100 years old. She sang a song for the writers in a mixture of Japanese and the local dialect. What does it mean? That she sang a song in a mixture of both the languages, both that religious local language and the Japanese language. Let's see the words she sang. To keep healthy and a long life, eat just a little of everything with relish. Go to bed early, get up early, and then go for a walk. We live each day with serenity and we enjoy the journey. to keep a healthy and have a long life. We get on well with all of our friends and families, spring, summer, fall, winter. We happily enjoy all the seasons. The secret is not to get distracted by how old the fingers are, from the fingers to the head and back once again. If you keep working with your fingers, working, 100 years will come to you. I hope you understood the poem. Well, guys, this is the end. Now, in the next chapter, we will look at the close relationship between longevity and discovering our life's missions. So, guys, thank you, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I will meet you guys in the next part.